your fam, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely.
Okay, welcome back to another episode of Mama's Getting Oily. We are going to do things a little different. So I did not post anything for the last 2 weeks, and there is a very good reason for that. I listened and watched the first 2 episodes and decided I don't want to be a science teacher. I don't want to sit here and talk about things that are science related or the science behind things or anything like that. What I want to do is really talk about how these oils and supplements and CBD from Young Living has really impacted our life. My goal is to get you to understand that this is not a fad. This is not just something people are buying and placebos and snake oils and whatever you may call them. The point of this series is to educate you the best way I know how. I'm not a science teacher. So we're gonna just kind of have a coffee talk. I got my coffee, and we're gonna start by explaining to you how the oils got started in our lives in the first place. Okay? So, in 2015 is when I bought my first kit. But a year before that is when I really tried my first oil. And it was for my daughter. She was six at the time and had been diagnosed for a year with ADHD. Now, she obviously, everything that comes with ADHD is her attention span was very short. So was her temper. And she was starting to hurt herself when she got aggravated. And we were kind of at a loss. You know, we didn't want to jump right to medications because she was only 6 at the time. But obviously that was one of our choices. And then a friend of mine got tagged in a post where her sister-in-law was using an oil to correct the mood, fix the mood of a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, and with Cedarwood, and I was like, what the hell is this, right? So I got in touch with her, and I was like, what is this? What? I need it. So she got me a bottle of Cedarwood. It was $11, and I said, okay, I'll try it, whatever. We were ready to try anything, and even my daughter's behavioral specialist wanted us to go other routes before we decided to do medication, for obvious reasons, you know, side effects, and she was 6 years old. The last thing we want to do is put her on a medication that was going to affect her kidneys and her liver for the rest of her life. Now, am I saying, oh, never do medication, blah, blah, blah? No, because my shirt supports medication. I support doctors, nurses, medicine, all that. I just feel that sometimes it's appropriate to try things that are not going to damage another system in your body to fix another one, okay? So, I got my bottle of Cedarwood, and we tried it for a couple of weeks, and I didn't like the smell of it, because if anybody knows, like, has a grandma that had cedarwood chest, it kind of stinks. Almost like cat pee. Gross. So cedarwood is obviously not one of my favorite oils, but it got me thinking and researching, and I researched for a year, you guys. I researched and looked into it and asked a million questions. I was really annoying. And then in February of 2015, I bought my first kit. My first starter collection came, and I added Valor. So my biggest concern at that point was my husband snoring. I know, not a huge deal, except when you're co-sleeping with a baby and his snoring keeps waking you up. So I asked a bunch of questions about snoring and got the recommendation of Valor. So I was like, well, where do you put this? And they're like, on his feet. And I was like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. So even after I bought the kit, I was very much a skeptic. Very much a skeptic. I was like, yeah, okay, this little bottle of plant juice is really going to be the thing that changes everything, right? Okay. So I got my kit, and we started putting Valor on Steve's feet, and he didn't snore that first night, and I was like, yeah, okay. Obviously, tonight he wasn't gonna snore anyway, right? And so we did that for 2 weeks before I realized that, well, maybe this is actually helping. So we didn't put it on his feet for a few days, and he went right back to snoring. So that was my first, right? That these things may do something. Maybe. I was still very skeptical, but I was like, well, maybe. Just maybe. Okay? So fast forward, I started researching and asking questions about ADHD in kids and what oils people were using. And a lot of them came back with Stress Away, Cedarwood, gross, frankincense, lavender, all these things. So I was like, well, I'll start with one and see how it works, right? So I started using Stress Away on my daughter in the morning and at night. That's it. I'd roll it on her wrist, and eventually it got to the point where she would ask for it. And Stress Away, if you don't know, it's a vanilla smell, with a hint of lime. Okay, and it sounds like a drink. So Stress Away is vanilla with a hint of lime, and I started putting it on her every morning, every night. And when I tell you that after a couple weeks, the difference it made was life-changing, I am not kidding you. She stopped hurting herself when she got angry. She was able to pay attention a little bit longer. And I was like, wow, okay. So as parents, it was like a really huge moment for us because, we were worried about our daughter who would get mad and pull the car seat belt so tight that she would cry because it would hurt, and yet she was doing it to herself. So we're like, what's going on? And for this little bottle of plant juice to just really change all of that, it just it blew our minds. And she still uses oils to this day. We've changed them as things have come out, and as we've researched more and found better oils that dial into her, that she really enjoys the smell of and will grab anytime she's feeling, any type of way. But seriously, between my husband's snoring and my daughter's ADHD, it has been huge impact on our life. Now, 5 years later, we use them constantly. Okay, my husband uses Digest for an upset stomach. My daughter that I talked about earlier, she uses Trauma Life and Sarah when she's having rough days. My oldest daughter loves the acne treatment in Dragon Time because she's 13 now. I'll say no more on that one. And my 8 and 6-year-olds, I use oils on to calm down, or I give them some sleep essence to help them sleep on Sunday nights before the school week starts. There's just so many things we use in our house from Young Living alone. And the more we get into this series, the more I'm going to talk about individual products and what we use them for and why we love it and why we trust Young Living as opposed to store-bought oils or store-bought products. Because if you really, really, really research what is in the products that you're using every day, it will blow your mind. There are so many harmful chemicals in things that we use every day, and I still use them. I am not, look, we need to get one thing very clear is that I am not a crunching mom. We do not do a whole lot of organic stuff unless it's on sale, right? If it's cheaper. My kids eat McDonald's and drink pop, and we have hugs, like sugar flavored water with food coloring in it, right? We very much are a typical normal family that use all these products, right? I still like a candle from time to time. Sometimes Febreze is the only thing that makes my bathroom smell less like 6 people live here. I do use bleach. I am not trying to come across as this person who is all natural, crunchy, organic, non-GMO, blah, 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 okay? But I feel like that if we can make better decisions in at least some of our products, we're heading in the right direction, right? So, I changed my cleaner. We use Thieves and we use Infuse. And just making that jump is a jump in the right direction, is you're heading in the right direction, right? But there's no way to be 100% toxin and harsh chemical free. There's not. Do you want to know why? Because eventually you're going to have to leave the house. You leave the house, you've got pollution, you've got car exhausts and whatever else, right? So you have to make the best decisions you can with what you know in your home. But you're not going to be 100% toxin free. You're not. But making those little small decisions can just mean everything in your journey to being as natural as you can be. I guess that's what the point of this series is to get you to be as natural as you possibly can be, right? So, like I said, I changed out my cleaners for plant-based cleaners. That was easy and cheap. The Thieves Cleaner, you get a big bottle. I wish I had one with me. A big bottle, and you can get 30-ounce bottles out of $22 bottle of Thieves Cleaner. It comes out to like less than $1.50 a bottle. A spray bottle, not a bottle, a spray bottle. You get 30 of those. Are you kidding? That's insane. That's cheap, and it's plant-based and it's natural. So it's not all about finding the most expensive company and oh, being natural is so expensive. It's not. It's really not. Being sick is expensive, which I talked about in my first video. Being sick is extremely expensive. But taking, less than $1.50 for a spray bottle of cleaner that lasts me like 2 weeks. Granted, I have 6 people. It's insane, okay? So it's not about buying the most expensive thing. It's about taking a step in the right direction of becoming a little bit more natural, right? So I got the cleaner. Infuse. Infuse, you get bottles and cartridges. It's plant-based, non-toxic, okay? You get different scents, which is the reason I bought it. And the cartridges are only $4. You keep the bottle, you add water, and the cartridges are $4. And they smell amazing. I love them. But taking those tiny steps that don't seem like it's making a big difference really is. I mean, think about all the surfaces you clean with your Clorox and your Lysol and all that kind of stuff, especially now. During this pandemic, it has been absolutely insane, the amount of Lysol and Clorox and all that. And I'm just as guilty of it. In March, when this whole thing dropped and it was nothing but fear, I bought all the Lysol, all the hand sanitizer. I didn't care what harsh chemicals or toxins they had in it. And mind you, I have been using these products and been in this business for 5 years. I know better. But media drives the fear, right? So as soon as I turned off the TV and calmed down and went back to believing in my product, I would buy the Thieves spray. This is great for door handles, toilet flushers in public bathrooms, or even your own. It's basically Lysol spray, and it smells better. You can make better choices no matter what, because our Thieves line is 99.99%, just like everything in the store, except non-toxic and no harsh chemicals, right? And that's what we're going for. We're trying to make these little decisions that can mean your health. Invest in your health. And transfer buy. What is transfer buying? Well, if you follow me on Facebook, you saw my last order from Young Living, and it was all bathroom stuff. So shampoos, body washes, acne treatments, face washes, shave gel or shave oil, all that, right? I just transfer buy. Transfer buy is, instead of going to Target, Walmart, Giant Eagle and getting our products there, I just took the money that I would normally spend there and I threw it at Young Living instead. It is not about breaking the bank. It is about making better decisions that are healthier for your family. And if you really research and break down the cost and compare it to a hospital bill, it's like pocket change, and everybody can make this work. All they have to do is make better decisions, right? So the point of this series is to help you understand that, the people who are behind oils and their products, they're not about not agreeing with doctors or trying to be hippies or whatever, okay? It's really about making better decisions and trying to make our lives a little less toxic, because we already have enough toxic people, and there's really nothing you can do about that, but you can protect your health. And just so we're clear, citronella would be great for people that got you bugging. Like that. Classic dad joke. It's my favorite. So, what I hope you take away from this series, if anything, is that no matter your budget, no matter your lifestyle, no matter who you are as a person, no matter what candles you like or cleaners you like, you can make decisions that can really, really make the quality of your life so much better. So I want to thank you for joining me on this 3rd episode of Mama's Getting Oily. And I hope that our new direction is a little less boring, a little less lectury, and more interesting, and gets you really looking. I'll be sharing my link with you so that you can go and check out the products that Young Living offers. Until next week, we will be posting every Monday, because Mondays are just easier and it gives me something to look forward to besides the Monday mayhem, right? Because Mondays really suck, like really bad. So, you know, I'm a homeschooler, so school, husband goes off to work, and the week starts again. So this gives me something to look forward to. But I will be dropping my link below so that you can check out the other products, and we'll be dropping a link to my favorite resource book. So until next time, go research something. Give me your questions at mamasgettingoily@gmail.com, and I will do my best to answer them. And if I can't answer them, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I know this. I am going to research it for you. Okay? Simple. I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next Monday.
Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely.